Hey, so I just got back from the gym. I had my 5-year-old, no, 6-year-old, he's 6, I should know how old he is. He was in the car, and we were talking, and I've been thinking about what happened at Walmart, the shooting. And I was thinking for a second, I'm like, gosh, like, what if I was there? What if I had him? What if what if we were separated? Well, what would happen? We believe in being really honest with our kids. My wife and I, we talked to a rabbi once about just all the horrible things that are happening, and she was saying that when she grew up, there were the air raid alarms that would go off in Israel, and whenever there were these air raid alarms, everybody would hide, and then after the air raid alarm went off, or it turned off and it was all clear, they would go get candy. So the kids knew that they'd get candy, but they grew up in a place where there was a lot of really scary things happening. She was saying that people in America, a lot of parents are afraid to tell their kids the truth because they don't want them to get scared. But the truth is that there's a lot of really scary things around us. My daughter is in 8th grade, and they have the intruder. What is it? The shooter. They have shooting drills, where they hide under their desk, or the drill is you either run, you hide, or you attack. That's what you run, hide, or attack. And I got a 5th grader, and they do the same thing. But I was thinking, like, my kindergartner, 1st grader, like, what would he do? So I said to him, like, hey man, I don't know if you heard, but there was one of those crazy shootings, because we talk about this stuff, and I try to make it like really big and far away. I'm like, yeah, I was in Texas, and I'm like, hey man, what would you do if we were like in, Walmart or Target, and you heard like a boom, 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 and I wasn't with you? He's like, well, what would you do? He's like, I would run. Yeah, I'd run away. I'm like, great, yeah. And I'm like, what if you couldn't run away? He's like, I'd look for a door. I'm like, well, that's good, but like, if you couldn't get away, what would you do? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, you would hide. You'd hide. And then we talked about hiding places, because people, like, one person hid in a bin, and again, making it really fun, and like, you'd hide because nobody's really looking for people who are hiding. And we had fun with that conversation, and it was over. And again, I said to him, like, listen man, like, this stuff's far away. Thinking in my head, but it can be anywhere, but it's far away, and most people are really great. There's just like some people who aren't right, and they do these terrible things, but you're safe, man. Like, you're okay. But I just wanted to ask you, I was just curious what you would do. And the conversation ended, and it was like, and whatever your thoughts are, and whether or not you have this conversation with a 6-year-old, I'm totally open to your thoughts. Like, we are all dealing with this stuff. No one has had to deal with this before. So, like, I'm doing the best I can do, and I know we're all doing it, but like, I gotta protect my kids from this crazy stuff. Like, I gotta talk to them, and it really sucks. It's really upsetting that this is like, I didn't have to deal with this. Most of you probably didn't have to deal with this. So it occurred to me afterwards, just a few minutes ago, I'm like, God, this is like so awful, because I feel powerless, and I'm sure a lot of you feel powerless, because every time this happens, very little is done. Like, almost nothing is done. And my request for any of you who have a vote, any of you who are in a position of power where you can create laws, and I know that we're all in a position of power, but those of you who can vote and take action and do something right away, I mean, please do something. Do something, because if we do nothing, nothing changes. This is what's been happening. And if we do something and it still doesn't change, well, we can do something else. And if it doesn't change, then we can do something else, and we can do something else. But if we do nothing, then nothing is going to change. And it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. So I'm begging those who can do something to please do something, and then we'll do something more, and we'll do something more, and we'll do something more. Because something has to change. Please help something change. And for those of you dealing with the heartache and pain who have been affected by any of these shootings, my heart goes out to you. And I only wish you healing and love to everyone. So please, let's do something.